Good morning, and welcome to today's Catalyzing Change STEM Forum. DuPont is proud to be the presenting sponsor of today's event with our partners, the Delaware Sustainable Chemistry Alliance and Forum to Advance Minorities in Engineering, better known as FAME. DuPont is committed to inspiring and cultivating the next generation of scientists, engineers, and innovators. We do this by supporting STEM education programs from elementary to postdoctoral education, like today's event. DuPont has a long-standing commitment to increasing diversity, equity, and inclusion in the STEM arena, extending back to the founding of FAME, which was actually formed by the DuPont Company to address the lack of women, African American, Hispanic, and Native American engineers and scientists in the industry in the mid-1970s. Over the last several decades, as the digital divide has increased, more focus has been needed on increasing access and exposure to STEM opportunities like workshops that provide interactive learning through experimentation, academic support, career awareness, and mentoring. This need is being felt more than ever during the current pandemic, which, as we all know, has disproportionately impacted low-income communities and communities of color, and as a result, the students in those communities. DuPont partners with local organizations such as FAME, Teen Sharp, the Latin America Community Center, Christiana Cultural Arts Center, Boys and Girls Club, and others that provide support networks for these students. Data shows that STEM exposure early on in a child's life makes a huge difference in their potential interest in pursuing STEM in school and as a career choice. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, I received a microscope for Christmas. Nothing fancy, but it sparked my curiosity about science. I looked at everything under that microscope, whether it made sense to or not. It put scientist on the list of things I wanted to be when I grew up. I didn't get much more STEM exposure than that as a child, though, beyond the regular school curriculum. So science lost some ground, and by middle school, I wanted to be a lawyer. My high school chemistry teacher changed that, though. Yes, it took until high school before science made a comeback for me. Mr. Rogoff made it a point to do demonstrations that connected lessons on the periodic table, redox reactions, and energy states to real-world applications. They were simple, but helped me see beyond the fundamentals I was learning to what could be done with them. Teachers, it is so valuable to make this connection. The final experience that set me on my ultimate career path was during an internship in college, in which I was majoring in chemistry. During a summer internship with PPG, they took all the interns to various sites and labs so we could talk to the various technical professionals and learn about what they did. One of the scientists in the paint group talked about how his job was to listen to customer feedback on areas where their products needed improvement and investigate how he could apply different polymer and chemistry solutions to solve these problems. I was hooked. I thought, I want his job. Solving different problems that people were experiencing in the real world each day seemed so exciting. And it is. Ultimately, I obtained a PhD in chemistry and embarked on a rewarding career with DuPont. And what does a career with a company like DuPont mean? Well, you get to see the impact of a great innovation engine that you contribute to each day make a difference when it really matters. This can be demonstrated with a few examples from DuPont's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Last year, DuPont and Cummins Inc. partnered to use water filtration technology based on DuPont's hybrid membrane technology to supply the critical need for N95 masks. Technology teams at the DuPont Experimental Station in Wilmington, Delaware, and Troy, Michigan, used 3D printing to print face shields for healthcare workers using DuPont Zytel filament. And several DuPont manufacturing sites began producing hand sanitizer to donate to local nonprofit organizations and government agencies, including hospitals and local emergency management services. At DuPont, we understand that we can only truly fulfill our purpose to develop sustainable solutions to address some of the world's most challenging and complex problems with the full commitment, participation, creativity, energy of a diverse workforce. I'm proud to work for a company where diversity, equity, and inclusion are central to our high-performing culture. One of DuPont's 2030 sustainability goals is accelerating diversity, equity, and inclusion to become one of the world's most inclusive companies, with diversity well ahead of industry benchmarks. In order to do this, it is critical to ensure there is a deep, well-prepared talent pool. This is one of the reasons DuPont is working to strengthen the STEM ecosystem and ensure kids get the exposure early to STEM and have access to the supporting resources so that they have a pathway to prepare for these challenging and rewarding careers. During my career at DuPont, I have had the opportunity to participate in many STEM outreach engagements sponsored by the company, including events like Engineering Your Tomorrow, a full day of hands-on activities and experiments that illustrate basic scientific and engineering principles targeted at middle school girls. DuPont's commitment to allowing employees to support and drive these engagements resonates deeply for me because I can provide others with opportunities I did not have when I was younger. Students, imagine what many of you will be able to achieve with earlier exposure and more access to these STEM opportunities than I had. I encourage everyone to take full advantage of today's program. I hope that one day all the students here will have the same opportunity I have to work in an amazing field for a great company.